And the kind of meditation I'm talking about is really just doing nothing. You know, like a lot of the masters say, you know, even breathing or paying attention to your breathing is too much. You know, you can just do nothing, you know?
I guess that you're, of course, an artist, so how it helps you in that area?
You know, this is not so much to do what I call with ultimate truth, but
to give that energy to the world.
Yeah.
I guess that that's the most important.
Definitely to share that, and hopefully other people get a kick out of it, enjoy it also, you know, and yeah, creativity, I think. Yeah, well, I've done a large body of my work has been with recycled bicycle parts.
Las emociones que enriquecen nuestra vida. Bienvenido a Casamandala, un podcast de bienestar holístico. Yo soy Laura Rojas, Shakti Karuna es mi nombre de alma y te acompaño en este camino de transformación.
Hello, we're with Ilana Spector. It's the first time that I do it in English, so I'm very excited. Thank you, Ilana.
Thank you. Muchas gracias.
So first of all, we're going to start with a little bit of a meditation.
Yeah. What I'd like to do is just have us close your eyes just for a moment. And just for a moment, you can see in the instant just how natural it is for the mind to be at rest. Many times a day, the mind has thoughts, and it's just as natural for the mind to have thoughts as it is for the mind to have no thoughts, for the mind to be at rest. This is your reality. So natural, so beautiful. Where are the problems now? So, welcome to open your eyes now. And yeah. And usually what I do in a meeting, what I call sometimes open satsang, an open meeting for truth, is just ask, you know, if anyone has questions or to challenge, feel free to challenge or ask, you know, what it is that I do and specialize in, or, you know, anything that's on your mind.
I'm going to try my best.
Yeah.
I would like to say that.
Perfect. And thank you so much also for doing it in English. Y disculpe, mi español no muy bueno.
No, I guess that is wonderful. De inteligencia artificial.
Sí.
Going to...
Hay muchas cosas bien bueno con este.
Sí, blessed to be in this time. No.
Sí.
How lucky we are. No?
Yeah. We can use it for the way we want to use it.
Yeah. That I would love to read the biography. Ilana Spector brings a richly diverse background to her work. She has produced and welded large-scale public art monuments, practiced law across multiple areas, and founded a pioneering solar electric company in Southern California. For more than 3.5 years, she has been fortunate to call Mexico home. Since a life-changing journey to India in 2005, she has devoted much of her time to exploring and offering guidance on the nature of consciousness and reality, a calling that has remained at the forefront of her life ever since.
Sí.
I practiced yesterday.
Yeah, very good. Sí.
Ilana, we were talking about this course is the Satsang.
Sí.
And you put me the Sanskrit words. It's Sanskrit.
Sí.
Can you explain us a little bit, parting from there, what the sang means?
Yes. It comes from sat, meaning truth, and sang is like sangha, like a community or a meeting in for truth, you know, for the conversation around truth. And so what I do is something called the Complete Satsang. And it is an intensive, a month-long intensive. so that by the end, and it's in a way an exploration for truth, for people to come to know what in many Indian traditions they refer to as who am I, who am I, who are you? So yeah, it's for truth. It's like, what is it all about? What is, life itself? The great mystery. In many traditions, we refer to it as you know. There are many ways to refer to it. Source, whatever it is. And what I do is I help you to come to know for yourself. Other people, call it freedom. It's a search for freedom. So yeah, that's what I do.
This course, it's online or it's like presence?
It's in person.
In person.
It can be done also by Zoom if there's a good connection. What's important is eye connection, because some people talk about transmission, and there's many ways to transmit. Being around someone, music, reading, many ways of transmission. But one that is most comfortable, I think, for humans, for us, is to sit down and have a conversation, and the eye connection, where you can see this person is understanding, they're getting what I'm saying.
So it's online and presence. It could be like both.
Yeah. The meetings themselves are not so time consuming.
Okay.
We meet for not so much time per day, but the focus really wants to be coming to know and doing, but it's designed so that life happens in between as well. So
it's like to have our personal journey in India, no?
Yeah.
Like 30 days you're going to commit to this.
Yeah, or it's like the context in a way, this is what you're focused on, but you can also get work done that you need to get done. And, it's not a silent retreat where we sit for 8 hours. We meet for about an hour and a half, about every other day. And then there's some stuff to do in between. But yeah, it's mainly just to have the focus be, coming to know who am I.
I love your meditation in the beginning because you take me aware about my thoughts, that it's very important. And when you land me in, okay, what's your thoughts? And now watch like how you say it was like the thoughts, and then you say it like
no thoughts, or
no thoughts.
Yeah, when it's just where we have no thoughts. Yeah, like we think a lot of times, if we're on the spiritual path, consciously, I'll say that have you heard of the monkey mind? That the mind is active 24/7. But it's actually not the case. It's just we don't notice always that many times a day we are in whether we're playing a sport or even watching a movie, our mind is not active all the time. At least it's not having thoughts all the time. And so it's good to recognize that it is just as natural for the mind to be, I said also, at rest, at resting, just, not having thoughts as it is to have thoughts.
What was your path like, this thought, like when you say like, oh, okay, I have thoughts. I didn't think that I have like these thoughts, and now I guess that you have like more awareness around all that.
Yeah. Well, it really helped to have someone point it out to me too, because when someone speaks truth, we know, someone says something and it doesn't necessarily go through the mind, but there's something in us that knows, oh yeah, that's true. So if I say like we have active thoughts, let's say, and passive thoughts and no thoughts. Active thoughts are like when the mind is circling and circling, when you're maybe worried about something. Yeah.
Or you have like a trauma, I guess, no? Like
yeah, a trauma or something's happening, and there's also passive thoughts, like we might be chilling, sitting somewhere, not really having many thoughts, but then it's like, oh, I wonder what I should have for dinner tonight, or, oh, I need to pick this up at the store, right? That's a different kind of, that's what I call passive thoughts. And it is it's not a troublemaker, you know, it's just like if you write it down, you forget about it, or you do it and then, you know, but the active thoughts are more the troublemakers. And then there's also, like I say, no thoughts. You know, if you are, let's say, an artist and you're painting, you know, it's very common for you to just get really, you notice it later sometimes, like, oh, I really wasn't thinking. I was just painting.
In creativity.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And so, and this back to like, you just know when truth is spoken. Sometimes when someone points that out, you can recognize like, oh yeah, that's true. And we overlook really who am I is so here. What is so here? Who am I? In the same way that we overlook oftentimes that it's so natural for the mind to be at rest, for the mind to have no thoughts.
And we were telling like before this stress, no, that we have in the cities, and we know that we have like a rush, like a stress, but we normalize it. No? How can we invite the people to take conscious about no, yeah, that could be your life, but if you like to make a little bit of a break, like you will notice like these benefits of all your mind, because I know that the mind is like the most important thing that we can take care of. If you can talk with a lot of people, what will you have like, okay, this is like important, this is like a red flag. No, like
Okay,
red
yeah,
flags.
yeah. I mean, so what I do, like I say, is help people come to know who am I, freedom, life itself, what is so here, what is just overlooked, what is ordinary. Yeah. So I don't say that there's no place to have to get to. Like in a lot of the time during the spiritual search, the spiritual path, or during therapy, there's shoulds, you know, like I should just slow down. I should relax more. I should notice this. Yeah. But my approach is a little different. Like in coming to know what is so here, it is naturally taken care of. Like in a way, the freedom I'm talking about is the freedom from the should and shouldn'ts. You know, it's freedom from thinking like, I need to do this, I should do this, I need to remember this. Because once you know, and coming to know is different, what I do, than reading a book about it or watching a video about it. It's really, you come to know for yourself. And then everything else is just taken care of. A device that a lot of people use is to just stop, you know, or meditation is also, like meditation is, I think part of the spiritual path is to have people become aware of and maybe eventually fall in love with meditation. And the kind of meditation I'm talking about is really just doing nothing. You know, like a lot of the masters say, you know, even breathing or paying attention to your breathing is too much. You know, you can just do nothing, you know, and stop. And in a way, we enjoy it the most, right? Just being able to kick up our heels, you know, that phrase, or just relax. It's just, it's a great pointer. That and nature, like we were talking about, is some of the greatest pointers to who you are, to who am I.
When you were talking, I was thinking like a phrase that I hear among saying like, when you have health in your mind and body, you have 1,000 problems. But if you have a problem in your mind or health, you have one problem. So it's like that way, no? That important to be like aware, like in the moment. And I relate because I like to do and things. So I have to catch myself like, no. But remember that you love to do that, no? Because you get lost. You get lost about everything. Well, I was like doing, and then I forget joy, like for a year. So that can be like, that wasn't hell for me. So
Yeah.
So now I relate that the thing that you said, that okay, you have to like be aware, like if you like to do nothing, it's okay. It's
Yeah, I mean, in a way, it's the greatest pointer. I mean, maybe if we admit it, I mean, I also like to do things, you know, sometimes
yeah, you do a lot of things.
yeah, and I joke sometimes that I'm an experience junkie, you know, that, you know, I like to experience, and I think we all do as humans.
Yeah.
We like to learn new things. It's, I think, just part of our nature for the most part. And, you know, maybe if we admit it, we also, one of the things we most enjoy is to just kick back, you know, like having a drink with a friend or taking a nap. I mean, I wish I was more able to take a good snooze, a good sleep in the afternoon. I'm not a napper, but sleep even, you know, like we kind of love it the most too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and that I say, as I say, is worth noting. It's important to see, because it's such the greatest pointer to who am I. You know, it's just what is so here and what is overlooked, what is life itself. Yeah.
I love it how you say it. Thank you. I know that it's not a question in here, but I would like to ask you how, from being an artist, no, from these projects that you have, in a lot of places you have like these monuments that you do. I guess that you're, of course, an artist. So how it helps you in that area?
You know, this is not so much to do what I call with ultimate truth, but in the, you know, in the world of boundaries, you know, sometimes I ask myself, well, to what end? What is it all for? You know, if not to enjoy. You know, do we really need another Starbucks, you know, sign to look at? Like, and I'm not against coffee, you know, and caffeine. You know, I like to go have that available. But the art part for me was really just kind of a natural outgrowth, actually, after I came to know for myself. It was, and doing nothing for a long time. It was just a natural outgrowth, something that gives me joy, and that I think, like, even if there is no reason, you know, like, when to answer the question, to what end, like, just to enjoy.
Yes, I know.
You know, what else is it about? Like,
time
if
and
not-
space.
yeah, if not to enjoy. I mean, I feel very lucky, of course, too, because I've been able to do that and feed myself, you know, so of course.
How you say it, like entregar, like to give that energy to the world. I
Yeah.
guess that's the most important thing.
Definitely, yes, definitely. To share that, and hopefully other people get a kick out of it, enjoy it also, you know, and yeah, creativity. I think it also hopefully breeds creativity, and yeah, people enjoy.
Ah, that's
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah.
So
Especially with the public work. Like if I were doing my own thing in my own house, it's maybe different, you know, but doing something that's in the public, like those monuments, is really about, you know, working for the public also, for the public to enjoy.
can you explain to the audience what kind of art we're talking about?
Yeah, well, I've done a large body of my work has been with recycled bicycle parts, partly because they were cheap. In the US, we throw out a lot of stuff, and people don't want to, you know, give their kids a used bicycle. Here in Mexico, it's different. You know, we use things and fix things a lot more. But so yeah, a large part was bicycles, and I liked working in that medium because it's very joyful. Like people, and the colors are great. But
And all the making, no, because you have to do like a lot of things for that to happen. It's not like just one thing. Like it's a lot.
to work, yeah, working with bicycles is difficult. Like taking them apart and then welding them together. But yeah, it's just fun. It's also, bicycles are very cool too because they're designed for the human body. So there's something just that we all kind of relate to with the wheels and the, you know, so yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah. So, and I've done other work also, but in metal, because once I learned how to weld on bicycles, then we got to do some work.
That's what I read. You have to show me. One
Yeah,
day.
I would love to show you. Yeah, yeah. It's also,
That's super cool.
it is cool. It's nice also to know, like, how the world is so put together with metal. Like even I was noticing here on the table, and you know, so many things. This chair, everything. Here's a weld, you know. So knowing that is kind of, when I first learned it, it was seeing the world like, oh wow, there's welding all
everywhere.
over. Yeah. Yeah.
So when you arrived from India, you stay in there like a long time, and you in there like have your all this knowledge like to concentrate in yourself so you can share it to the world, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us something about your trip to India?
Yeah. India was very key for me. It's you know, it's Mother India. You know, like what I did is the kind of maybe stereotypical, put my stuff in storage and buy a one-way ticket to go there to, you know, find myself. And
like in the movie.
Yeah.
No? Yeah.
Yeah. And I got so lucky to actually find what I was looking for. And that is what motivates me now to share, you know, what I got from that trip in 2005. Other people that are looking for what it is that I can provide. So, which is again for you to come to know for yourself. You know, each person has to come to know for themselves. This to find out for themselves. You know.
I know it's a little bit difficult, no, because I can relate. For example, one time in my life, like 2 years ago, I was telling to a teacher, like, no, you tell me what to do. I love to tell that people tell me what to do, you know?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. But I know that it's not the path. You have to, like you said, no, it's for us to know ourselves, like take that accountability, that responsibility. Like, yeah, the people can tell you things, but never, because you have to decide in your life. That sounds like strange, but it's like
Yeah, and back to that, like, and you know, so,
Yeah.
and you know, it's the whole basis of some Buddhist is be a light unto yourself, you know, and there are people, especially now, just like the field of, let's say, psychology has come a long way in the last 20 years, 15 years. This area too, you know, you could say like there would be developments also. And, this is one of the things that I can help with. It's not about telling you what to do, but little pointers, or pointers in general, pointers where you see for yourself. So that's where your responsibility comes in, to know that you can know for yourself that you can recognize truth.
Well, Sandy, an episode that we record, she was telling that India has like this awakening because it's a lot of chaos. Well, the Taj Mahal, but a lot of poor people. So that to have that like in right there, like, can you relate with that?
Oh yeah. Oh, India is crazy. It's everything all at once. Everything just smells and every impetus, everything, all the senses like on overload in India. Yeah, it's an amazing place. Yeah.
That have a lot of cows, and that's why we can find ourselves.
I'm not sure if it's why. Maybe this is just, a guess, but there is a tradition of the sadhus, of an acceptance, naturally part of society, of people asking the larger questions of what people would call spirituality. I think it's more scientific than spiritual in that it is so here,
Yeah.
only overlooked. I don't know what it is about India. But it's an amazing place. I mean, each place has its thing though too. Mexico, I think, is also such a place of heart, and I'm very humbled. You asked me a little bit about Mexico, but I'm very humbled to be here and to get to know the Mexican people, and it's such a country rich in natural beauty, and the people, are just yeah.
How do you feel about living here in Ajijic?
I love it. It's paradise. Yeah. Especially, like I say, just I've been humbled to be here, especially now as an American It's a little crazy what's going on, and so to feel the perspective of what's real here, the family and community, and yeah, I love it here.
We love to have you here.
Thank
You're
you.
a very cool person.
Thank you.
One thing that you can bring is like that come to your head, like in India, like
After India, I lived on top of a mountain.
Wow.
With acres and acres, like 500 acres of nature preserve as my backyard, and I felt like I could appreciate it in a way I couldn't before India, because there's just so much.
That's why you're super connected with the nature, no?
Yeah, I think beforehand also, but yeah, definitely. It's again one of the greatest pointers for me. Probably that's my path. If there is a path that I had or have, it's nature, And again, I think one of the greatest pointers to who you are, who am I, is just nature. And being in love with nature is like a positive prompt. It's like it would have you, it's the best reflection of who you are.
Was there a defining moment that shifted your path?
Yeah, I would say, the biggest shift was taking the thing that I'm doing now. I had something that I'm basing it off of in India, and that it changed everything. And yet also you also hear, and then it's really for you to come to know again for yourself, but everything changes and nothing changes at the same time. But yeah, there was for me kind of a before and after. When I came to know, some people call it, awakening, waking up to who am I. It's almost like, this language doesn't necessarily speak to me, but I can understand what some religious people talk about with a rebirth. Like, I know the exact date and time period it was for me, and there was kind of a before and after. So.
It reminds me a lot, like I'm reading a book of Ramdas, and I know that he was Jew family. They were lawyers. So the day that I read that you are a lawyer too, I relate like Ramdas, no?
Yeah.
Like they have this ability, because I guess that is an ability, no? Everyone is not open to that, to break like the walls of society, no? Like the traditional ways, and to be an outsider, but connected to the nature. So I guess that you're like that, no?
Oh, thank you. That's very sweet. Yeah, I relate to Ramdas too. Maybe the Jewish background also. And yeah, I think in a way, maybe being on the spiritual path consciously, because we're all on the journey, there is kind of a little bit of the rebelliousness, because maybe you didn't go the traditional route of, just materialistic, making money, or maybe you did for a little and realized like, well, maybe that's not all this is about being here. Of course, again, you have to make enough money to buy groceries and food.
We live in the world.
Yeah, exactly. And also, like, not everyone asks, but what is this all about? What is death? Why are we here? And so, yeah, maybe there's a little bit of a rebel or a radical that asks and wants to know, and is willing to kind of take the next step, whether, to inquire, to meditate, to, it doesn't have to be, but I find most of the people that would be ready for the thing that I do, because you have to be ready in a way, to take responsibility, to know that you can know and recognize what is true, to be a light unto yourself, is it's just maybe some of that outsider I can relate to also.
Yeah, we have like a lot of voice in our heads, and I know that with meditation we can like observe the mind. So this path that you're telling us, because your course is not for everyone, no, it's like for these people that are in the last path.
Yeah.
So I guess that it's like, okay, so to take that first awareness, no, like, yeah, you have to, yeah, you want to take responsibility, yeah, you want to take accountability.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you explain that for that people's that you have to meditate, you have these questions?
Yeah. I wouldn't say you have to meditate, but I would say if you have experience meditating, it helps for sure. Even if you've fallen in love with meditation, it really helps as far as the readiness. And yeah, thanks for bringing up that it's not necessarily for everyone. What I provide is for people that are ready for, I say, the end of the path, the end of the spiritual path, not meaning like death, but what I mean is ready to come to know for yourself what is true. And the spiritual path is can be very beautiful time. So I've many workshops and trying different kinds of meditation and going to a retreat. And it's not like you can't do those things after. But in a way, it's really geared towards people that just want to know already. They're ready for the end of the search, and in that the end of the path, the way I talk about it is you have no more doubt who you are. There's just no more doubt. And the mind is liberated by that. Like the mind, it's not through the mind that you come to know who you are. That's why it's difficult if you've read things and you've tried because we naturally filter things through the mind. But the mind can come to know also. Who am I? The mind is not against truth. So when the mind is, liberation is the natural outgrowth of the mind also having no more doubt. Who am I? The mind at that point is liberated. So that's liberation, the way I talk about it.
It's like a little bit of the soul. It could be like, see it that way, or
who am I doesn't have to do with the body in a way. Like again, I say that now, but also the body is not excluded.
Some conversations don't need an ending. They simply stayed with us. Thank you for being here. If this resonates with you, feel free to share with someone who might need it. Thank you for being part of this beautiful conversation with Ilana Spector. I hope something in this conversation stays with you gently. Namaste.